Happy New Year, Team Trilogy. Well, at least really close to the new year. 2018 was a phenomenal year for Trilogy and hopefully for you personally and your campus. I want to share a few words with you as we enter into 2019 that have helped me, in particular one word. Many of us have New Year's resolutions, and I used to do New Year's resolutions, and about 10 years ago I kind of changed that. I found that New Year's resolutions didn't last very long for me. And I was going through a difficult time, and I prayed about getting a word that would help me during the year. And my second year doing this, the word that came to me was fearless. And at the time I was dealing with a lot of fear. Financial fear, relational fear, you name it, it just seemed to be overwhelming to me. And so this was a really powerful word for me, and I'm thinking to myself, yes, I am going to go out. My definition of fearless is to the absence of fear. I'm going to get rid of all my fears, and if you know me, man, I go overboard. And so I'm 100% in when I do something. And so I am spending 6 months, the first 6 months, almost every decision that I could cognitively think about, I was being fearless with. I was making decisions that I know I wouldn't have made otherwise, and expecting great results because, frankly, that I believe God wanted me to be something more, and He wanted me to not have my fears paralyze me. Because that's what they were doing. They were holding a weight on me and paralyzing me, and He wanted a different thing for me. About halfway through the year, I had this experience, though. I was praying about it, and God says, hey, you got this definition all wrong. And I'm thinking to myself, what? He said, fearlessness isn't the absence of fear. It isn't to get rid of it, because I gave you fear. It can be a great counselor. I often think about, when you're a little kid and you burn yourself and, you get afraid to touch the oven or that hot pot. I gave you that so that you wouldn't get harmed. But you can't let it be a weight on you, a jailer. I don't want you to be paralyzed from that fear. And He said, so, fearlessness isn't the absence of fear. It simply means to fear less. And broke that one word apart into two. And I prayed some more about how do I live that every day? How do I operationalize that? And here were the three ways that He shared with me that I could operationalize that, and I try to do even to this day. So first, He said, I need to fear less frequently. In the middle of fear, I was fearing about money, every day. Like, how am I going to make it work? How's it going to be? How am I going to get those bills paid? And it was every day I was fearing that. And what I heard was, look, if you're fearing that every day, I want you to fear that every other day. And then, I want you to fear it once a week, and slowly but surely incrementally change, which is totally in line with how we are at Trilogy, and our goals. And then the second thing He told me about to be fearless was He wanted me to fear less intensely. And so, at the time, early in that year, I had so afraid that sometimes I would literally lay on my bathroom floor in fear. Sounds surprising to some people that we might get to that point, especially somebody like me, but honestly, I did. And, what I saw was this imagery of me fearing less, intensely. So if I was on the floor, I got on my knees. If I was on my knees, I was sitting up. And before I knew it, I was standing up. And before I knew that, I was celebrating. That imagery helped me. And then the third thing He said was, I want fear to hold you for less time, and like many of us, again, I use money a lot because I think almost everyone I've ever known has had a fear at some point about money. If it was holding me for 4 or 5 days at a time, and it was almost like an elephant on my chest, I almost got used to it, that was acceptable. It's just how it is. And I realized it didn't have to be that way. And so I started cutting those back, and every time I would think about something, I'd think about how long did I let that hold me, how intense was it last time. And how frequently have I been thinking about that? Those 3 ways I became fearless. You know, a little over 7 years ago, we really invested heavily in the foundation. And we did that because we know during those times when people are afraid, you know, we could develop programs that would help them fear less. You know, whether that's financial assistance through scholarships, or whether that's emergency assistance, or, you know, we've developed home ownership programs and student loan repayment programs and dependent scholarship programs. Those are all fears that, you know, some of our employees have expressed, and over the years we've been able to implement new programs that have really served them during those times of fears. We're going to continue to do that. We have incredible employee benefits. If you don't know about the Employee Assistance Program, if you don't know about our health benefits and wellness stuff, you know, I encourage you to reach out and get some more information. But more importantly, you're the leaders of your campus, and so often our campus employees don't know the depth of them. So what I want to encourage you to do is maybe identify a benefit of the day or it's of the week that could really help our employees during times that they are afraid. And so, you know, as we move into 2019, take a moment, you know, reflect on 2018 and all the blessings that we've had, but also let's look forward to 2019 and find ways that we can help our employees fear less about what's going on in their life and what's going on within Trilogy. Have a happy new year. Please let me know if I can be of any service to you, and I look forward to seeing you in 2019.